I think this is what you came for. I think strikes every time you. Getting warmed up here. I'm figuring out some details of my little chat screen. Okay, so that's on. All right. Thanks, Rihanna. Let me turn that off and get started. I need to figure out how to make my screen. Is that it? That's it. That works. Wait, what happened? Okay, and I want to go back to this. Okay, that works, kind of. I'm figuring out how to use this program still, so welcome to everyone that's on the call right now. I think, so I'll start by saying thank you for coming. And as people join, I may do a little more housekeeping, but just so that you know, I did have every attendee is muted. So in case there's other sound in the background and somebody joins while I'm talking, at the end of the call, I am gonna unmute, or you can write questions into the chat and we can deal with questions and answers that way. So yeah, so thank you so much for being here. I'm just trying to figure out how to move my screen. I'm gonna take 1 second and see if I can do that. Let me look up here, rename stuff, mute audio, stop video, pin video, rename. No, I guess that's it. Oh. Okay, that's better. Okay, so welcome and thank you so much for being on this call. This is the 3 absolute musts that I offer to my clients and customers and anyone when I'm coaching anyone to reach any health goal. And it's something that I distilled down over the course of time. And we'll get into some of the details around how I kind of came to this conclusion. But before we get started, I do want to just thank you for being here. I want to say to any of my multitaskers on the call that now would be a great time to turn off any distractions. If you're still at work or if you're watching the kids or if you're doing your laundry or whatever, I just want to invite you to take this 30 minutes to focus on you and you alone and really kind of dial in on what it is that you came to do here. You'll get the most benefit out of what I have to share if you can stay present and be in the moment with me. So thank you so much. Also, I hope you got the webinar worksheet that I sent via email and downloaded it and were able to print it. If you didn't print it but you got it, you can follow along online and just write notes on any piece of paper. That's fine. The goal is just when we take action in our lives to write something down, when we speak something and then we actually write it down, it gains that much more momentum. So my hope is that with this tool that you have, the webinar worksheet, you just have that much more momentum building around your what you state here today in this space together. So thank you for being on time and for downloading the worksheet. And we're going to jump into the bulk of what I want to share on this call. I'm going to set a timer so that I am conscious of the amount of time that I spend sharing information. Can everyone hear me that's on the call right now? I'm seeing chat messages from people. I think it's set up so that I can only see your chat because it says privately. So hopefully you can hear me and see clearly. Okay, great. So before we start talking about what I want to share with you, I want to acknowledge that everybody that joined this call and set aside their time from their night to be present for this has a reason that they came to be here. And I just want to acknowledge that we all have a million different goals in our lives. We have lots of health goals, we have wellness goals, we have work and relationship goals. And for the purpose of this call, I want to invite everybody to choose just one specific goal, so that for the rest of the call, you're focused on that goal whenever we're looking at any of the things that I share. So take a moment right now to choose just one goal. Maybe it is weight loss. Maybe it is getting yourself to the gym and starting a fitness routine. Maybe you're struggling with a specific health issue, or something runs in your family that you're worried about and you want to start to dial in on preventing illness in your body. Perhaps you just want to get more healthy foods into your diet because you want to raise healthy children. There's so many different things that could be your goal. And maybe all of those are your goal, but for now, I want you to just pick one, the most important goal for you, the thing that pops to the front of your mind and is the most pressing thing. Just take a moment and jot that down. Great. So I'm going to just share a brief introduction of myself for anyone who doesn't already know me well. My name is Deborah, and I am a health coach, and I'm also the owner of a company called Green Pirate Juice. We have been in business for 14 years, and primarily Green Pirate is a catering company that makes fresh squeezed, organic, plant-based beverages, juices, smoothies, other elixirs, and things like that. We got our start as a mobile food vending truck, and then we branched out into doing corporate catering, specific pop-ups around the city, as well as coaching, workshops, and things like that. I live in Brooklyn, and I'm actually coming to you live from my apartment right now. So it's exciting to be doing a live webinar from home. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, so I hope this goes well. Welcoming feedback. Yeah, and my story is sort of really kind of, it's almost cliche. I was working in New York City as a producer. I worked for a dance company, and I had about 7 years under my belt on this career path. I was producing large-scale events with hundreds of participants and children and parent volunteers. And I was very happy and fulfilled with the work that I was doing, but physically I was exhausted, I was run down, and I was uneducated about the type of fuel that my body needed to produce healthy results. So I was reaching for anything that was kind of comfort foods and you know, quick fix foods, things, sugary things, caffeinated things. At the end of a long day, I was reaching for, you know, alcohol and things that were just empty calories, and burgers and fries and quick, easy, expensive food. And I was hitting a wall in my life. I was exhausted. I was just downtrodden. I was 15 or 20 pounds overweight, and I was emotionally very distraught. I was not showing up at work and in my life in any way that who I think I am and what I wanted to be. I was bringing my drama into my relationships. Generally, I was unhappy, and I was really uncomfortable in my body. And I was blessed with having met a group of people who were into health coaching and a healthy lifestyle. And I joined actually a free webinar, much like this one, to kind of just learn a little bit about what that looked like. And in 2005, I actually quit my job and went back to school to get a degree as a health coach, which began my career path, coaching and creating healthy food. So I showed up for myself in that way, but it's really been the bulk of my last decade plus coaching other people, where I've gleaned a lot of kind of what really works to help people create a lasting change in their health practices. And that's a lot of what I want to share on this call with you today. So over the past 13 years, I have been the health coach to literally hundreds of very busy New Yorkers. I've been privileged to work with people at every state in their career, every size, every shape, every age. I've been able to serve a lot of healthy beverages to people, and I've also gotten to work one-on-one with people to help them kind of get crystal clear about how they want to really make plans to make a real long-term lasting change in their diet, their lifestyle, and different various aspects of wellness. So over the summer, I created an online course It's the first of hopefully many. It's specifically about diet and nutrition, and it's specifically about getting more plant-based foods into your diet. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the call because I want to share that with everybody. This call isn't specifically about that, but it's important to know that I'm a specialist in diet and nutrition and specifically plant-based foods. So I'm really excited about that course. I want to share more about that with you at the end of the call. And also if you hang out at the end of the call, there's other bonuses and things that I'm going to share with the people that are on this call. So hopefully everybody's with me still. It's hard to tell because I don't know if I set my screen up right. You can go ahead and post something in the comment if you, ooh, I lost chat. Okay. Let me know if you have any problems with the audio or the video so far. Okay, so you've gotten your one goal written down. Let's dive right in to my top 3 absolute musts for achieving that one goal. Number 1, right out of the gates, absolute must number 1. In order to achieve your goal, you must know why you want it. The power of why. In order to achieve any goal in life, whether it's work, diet, health, wellness, relationship, financial, it does not matter what your goal is. You have to know why you want to achieve that goal. It's absolutely imperative that you understand the core intrinsic reason why that goal is your goal. It's not enough to know that you want to lose 10 pounds. It's not enough to know that you want more plant-based foods in your diet or to get yourself to the gym twice a week. You have to know why. What is motivating you to reach that goal? Absolutely, number 1, know your why. The reason why you want your goal, that is going to be the thing that you return to that's going to motivate you to keep going when you get tired. That's going to motivate you to keep going when you want to quit. That's going to motivate you to keep going when you get frustrated and things don't feel like they're going in your direction, when you've had a long day, when people are not on your side, or you just feel like the world is out to get you and things are not going your way. You need to know why you started moving towards that goal and what you're going to get when you reach the end of achieving that goal. So if your goal is weight loss, or if your goal, let's say if your goal is starting an exercise routine, I want you to take a minute and think about why you want to achieve that goal. Is it because you have a secondary goal of being able to fit into your wedding dress or a size 9 jeans? Beneath that why do you want to fit into your wedding dress or your size 9 jeans? Is it because you want to attract a life partner, or maybe impress and re-stimulate something with your current partner? Is it because you have to be in front of a room full of people speaking for the first time in your life and you want to kind of look and feel your best, and you feel like you would look a little better if you got to the gym and kind of built up a little bit of muscle? Is it because you're getting older and you're feeling like your bones and your muscles are getting weaker and you want to support your long-term health as you age? Why do you want that goal? So the importance of knowing your why, I cannot overstate. So I want you to take a moment right now and just start brainstorming a list quickly off the top of your head. What are the reasons that you want to reach your goal? Jot down as many as you can think of in the next 2 minutes, and the sky is the limit. I have a story to share about a CEO who I coached. She was at the top of her game, female CEO in a male-dominated industry, but she was struggling with like yo-yo dieting, and she had tried everything like Weight Watchers and all kinds of programs, and she felt like she would have success but then fail, success then fail, and she really felt like she was just on this roller coaster in her life with particularly weight loss and food choices and things like that. She hired me as a coach, and we started to work on this concept of why she wanted to reach her weight goal and her fitness goal. And we did a brainstorming session like this one, and I hope you're writing down your brainstorming session currently. So what she got clear about was that she really wanted to leave her current career, her specific job, and be her own boss, that she wanted to start her own fashion line, and that she wanted to earn a 7-figure salary with her own creative ideas. And big picture stuff, she had like everything. She wanted to buy a new house. She wanted to travel the world, and she wanted to start a family and be so wealthy that she could not have to worry. And she had these amazing big picture goals, but all of them tied back to self-confidence. And that self-confidence tied back to her weight. So we started to work on the motivation of her why power and doing some visualization around that house, that job, that fashion line, her creativity being really stoked, and envisioning her why in practice. And you better believe that that woman started hitting all of her smaller goals of getting to the gym 3 times a week, of dialing back portion sizes, of choosing foods that were high octane plant-based fuel to motivate her, like superfoods instead of, empty calorie foods. All the little things that everyone kind of knows that they need to do if they want to lose weight. She just started doing them because she now had a reason why. When she wanted to quit on the treadmill, or when she wanted to reach for something that was maybe like outside her comfort zone of food stuff, she went back to that why power. And eventually she did quit that job and start her own fashion line. And it was such a sweet success for her, and such a sweet celebration for us as a team when she was able to say to me, it all boiled down to knowing why I wanted to achieve my personal health goal. So knowing your why is huge. It's your motivation. It's your engine that's going to activate all the actions that you take. It's crucial that you understand that motivating factor. Okay, so you've got your why, and let me see, speaker view. Is that what I want? Exit full screen. I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble with my screen situation. I hope that oh, yes, I can hear. Oh, great, that's from Tom, thank you. Okay, so moving on to number 2. And I'm moving kind of fast through this because I want to respect everyone's time and I know everyone has things to do. So your number 2 absolute must for achieving your health goal. Are you ready for it? Schedule it. So what does that mean? It's not, I always say this, if it's not in your calendar, it's not real. Okay, if it's not in your calendar, it's not real. Life is busy. You need to schedule your goal. So what does that look like? So everybody has a calendar, right? We all have online calendars. I use Google Calendar. I love it. It's very easy to share information that way. I also actually have my planner, which isn't in front of me right now, but I have this amazing day planner. It's a big book, and I just love opening it every single day and putting everything into it and then crossing things off. I use my calendar all the time. If you're a New Yorker, which a lot of my customers and a lot of people on this call, you're very busy, you need to have things in your calendar for them to be real. So when it comes to our goals around health and wellness, these tend to be things that we don't put on our calendar and in our schedule. But here's the reason why it's so important. You're so much more likely to actually do something if you have it written down in your calendar and you have alerts programmed in. You get reminded and prompted, and you can set yourself up so easily to remind yourself that you need to do something. When you get that alert, it's a little poke at the back of your brain so that when you start to get off track or you run behind in your schedule, you've got something in your calendar and you've committed to sticking to it. You're that much more likely to do that thing. Specifically, what I coach my clients to do is to break down their goal into really, really specific timeline and put every tiny little baby step into your Google Calendar or your online calendar, whatever you use, or your paper calendar. So here's what that specifically looks like. You choose an end date for your goal. Okay, great. Your goal is to lose 5 pounds, which is a really, believe it or not, that's actually hard to do in any physical body. It takes time, it takes effort. And there's a lot of different ways you could achieve that. So you need to choose an end date. Let's say we want to do that in 1 month. Okay, great. So you pick a date, you put that date in your calendar. And then from there, you're moving backwards in time and you're scheduling all the little things into your calendar that you're going to do in between now and achieving that goal. So maybe that's 3 times a week you're going to a new fitness program, or you're downloading a video for free and at home you're doing yoga. Maybe that's 3 times a week you're substituting a meat dinner for something that's all vegetarian. But you're putting those days in your calendar. If your goal is to have more plant-based foods in your diet, maybe you dial in a really specific goal. Once a week, I'm cooking a vegetarian dinner for me and my husband. Great. I want you to get so specific. When are you cooking that meal? Okay, at what time of day are you serving the actual meal? Put it in your calendar. Dialing back from then, when are you prepping the food so that you can cook that meal on time? Put that prep session, that 30 minutes of prep in your calendar. dialing back from that, when did you shop for that fresh produce? Did you go to the farmer's market? Did you go to the grocery store? Wherever you're shopping, what time of day, what day? Is it the day before you cook the dinner? Is it right after work on Tuesday and you're cooking dinner on Wednesday? Put that shopping session in your calendar. Dial it back from that. Maybe you need a recipe because you don't know how to cook vegetarian. Schedule the time that you're going to look for recipes online. I want you to put that in your calendar. So on the bottom, you can see the 3 steps you must take to be sure you're on track for making progress. Number 1 is you're choosing an end date to reach your goal by. Number 2, you're writing down all of the baby steps between this moment and reaching that end date. Think of every little thing you can possibly think of and break it out into its own little baby step. And then you better believe it, I want you to put every single little nuanced, little dramatic little baby step in your calendar. I want you to take every baby step because why? Because when it's in your calendar and you scheduled it, it falls into the flow of things. These little small incremental baby steps are easier to accomplish than this one big goal. If you just put cook a vegetarian meal for my husband in your calendar, but you don't know how to do that yet, you might not do it because you might not have backed yourself all the way out and downloaded a recipe and maybe watched a YouTube video. You need time in your life. Everything takes time. Schedule the time to reach your goal. Now, if we're talking about a really deeper health issue, let's say you're battling some type of, I'll use a personal example for this. I personally have, since I was a child, dealt with a skin condition called psoriasis. I'm proud to say that at this moment I have no symptoms and I had a great year not having to battle any of the symptoms. But for all of my life, I've had to figure out how to deal with it. Really dry, it's itchy, it can be uncomfortable, and also it can look like a rash that people could also see. So managing that has been challenging for me. So I have had to make time in my life to approach that health issue, to learn about it, to consult with professionals about it, to try things, to experiment with different foods, topical solutions. And a lot of it is actually diet and nutrition based. So I learned that, and then I scheduled time into my schedule to try different food remedies that really directly affect your nervous system and your skin condition. So it does take time to do, but I scheduled that time into small baby steps into my lifestyle, and then it didn't feel overwhelming, and it's been something that I've had a success with. So the third of those steps is to schedule all the steps into your calendar. Actually put them in your calendar, set up calendar alerts, set up a moment for every little baby step to happen. Okay, so you've now scheduled everything. I want to keep moving. The third most absolute must necessary thing that I coach all of my clients and all of my customers in order to achieve your health goal. Number 3 is finding or creating a system for accountability in your life. Accountability is a crucial factor in achieving your goal. So this can get really almost scary when it comes to health and wellness. We are often timid about admitting to other people what our challenge is around health and wellness. We don't always want to talk about our weight. We don't want to talk about skin conditions. It's really challenging if you are dealing with something that you're struggling with that maybe impacts your self-confidence. It impacts your just comfort being seen in public. Health issues tend to be really personal, and we don't want to just talk about them on public on Facebook or in public forums. We don't want to talk to our coworkers or our boss, or sometimes we don't even want to talk to our partners about things that are troubling us that have to do with health conditions. So it's because of this that I really highly encourage you to find like-minded accountability partners. Now, here's a fact. If you're into numbers like I am, I'm a nerd, you are 65% more likely to show up for a commitment and take action in your life if you have accountability. So 65% more likely to take that action step. So you've used your calendar, you've clarified your goal, you've gotten clear about why you want your goal. You might have even put all the baby steps into your calendar, but are you really going to do it? So you might do it. You might know that it's in your calendar and it's part of your routine, but you are 65% more likely to do it if you have an accountability partner holding you accountable to do that thing. Think about this. When your boss, if you have a report due to your boss is holding you accountable and your paycheck relies on that accountability. So you're going to turn the report in on time. Like, it's not really something you're struggling with. You just do it. You know, if you have to cook dinner for an entire family of 4, you're much more likely to cook dinner and have it on the table at a specific time than if you're just cooking for 1. So accountability, we don't realize sometimes how crucial it is for us to reach our goals, but it is massively important. So having an accountability partner, engaging the power of social expectation. So the idea there is just, when you have stated your goal in the public forum and it's now resonating in this echo chamber of people who have like-minded goals, they're also going to bounce ideas off. You're going to have people to bounce ideas off of these accountability partners or this accountability partner and hear what they might think. Maybe they give you, maybe they spur you on towards your goal by sharing a recipe for your vegetarian dinner, or by meeting you at the actual gym for that appointment that you set for yourself, or by saying, you know what, I'm going to meet your goal of 10 pounds by October 30th, and I'm going to set that goal for myself, and we're going to text each other. I use an example from my life for this too. I have an accountability partner. She's my childhood best friend. We have a daily text message. And what we do is we have one monthly big conversation where we state our monthly goal. We have a weekly check-in where we fine-tune that goal. So we start with 1 month. Well, like on a Sunday, we'll meet. We state our goal for the month. And then every single day we do whatever our own personal plan is to reach that goal, and we text each other and say, I did my little thing. So it's a quick text. It's not a long chat. Did it, done, and then usually it's, yay, amazing, you're awesome, and that person is there rooting you on. And then at the end of the week, we do an email where we fine-tune that goal that leads back to what our big monthly goal was. And we've been doing this now for almost 5 years, and I swear to God, I can't go a day without texting my accountability partner. She keeps me on track. She keeps me showing up for exercise, for healthy choices in eating. Sometimes it's other things that are much more deeper and more important and more emotionally challenging, and I have this person in my life to hold me accountable for showing up for myself. It makes all the difference. So there's a couple of different ways you can get accountability in your life when it comes to your health stuff and your health goal. So number 1 is to ask a close friend to join you or support you. That's a great way to go about this. Number 2 would be to join an online group or a meetup or an accountability group. So there's all kinds of groups online that support very specific issues. Certainly for things like, I have certain clients who are struggling with addiction, or I have a couple of clients right now who are managing and living with cancer. And they have joined very specific online and also in-person communities where they get accountability for showing up for whatever actions they need to take to combat those health challenges in their lives. There are great groups for moms who have just given birth and are trying to manage their food and their sleep. There are wonderful online groups for people who are single and living alone that want to eat healthy but don't have a person in the house that they actually cook for. These online groups and communities, meetup.com is a great one. Even just Facebook, there's so many. And then a third possibility is hiring a professional, such as a coach or a mentor or a guide that specifically can help you with your area or your goal. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the call, I am a coach. I'm specifically specializing in nutrition and health and wellness around diet and nutrition. And within that realm, I specifically specialize in plant-based foods. So I coach people how to set up a holistic supportive kitchen, how to learn vegan, vegetarian, and more plant-based diet, recipes, how to shop for that food, how to prep it, how to store it, how to freeze it and not lose it, and all of that. So that is an area that I'm a specialist, and I'm available to help anyone who's interested. So I want to recap really quickly. Well, we have a few minutes left before I start taking questions. Number 1, know your why. Okay. Number 2, schedule the baby steps between now and reaching that goal. Clarify your goal, know your why, your motivation to get you where you're going. Schedule all your baby steps. And number 3, find accountability to keep you on track for showing up for those baby steps. It doesn't matter what your goal is. It doesn't matter how large or overwhelming your goal might seem. Battling cancer, losing 15, 20 pounds after giving birth, totally changing your diet because you found out from your doctor that you have high cholesterol or that you're at risk for heart disease. These are big life challenges. These are big health challenges. If you follow this 3-step plan, I guarantee you that you will have a lot more momentum in your favor to get those goals accomplished than if you do not follow those 3 steps. So you're going to get clear about your motivation. You're going to schedule things in your calendar, and you are going to gain and build a team, an accountability partner or an accountability group that's going to help keep you on track when the going gets rough, when you want to quit on your goal, or when you're just feeling like you can't do it alone. You need support in this area of your life. We all do, and you are worth it. That is the most important thing I could leave you with in this call, is that you're just so worth it. Self-care is not selfish, okay? You cannot serve from an empty vessel. You cannot go out into the world and be a bright, shining star and show up at your job day after day and do your best and provide content and provide accountability to other people and be a great mom and be a great wife and partner and all the things that we expect from ourselves in this world. If you are empty and if you are at rock bottom, you need to take care of, number 1, yourself. You need to figure out areas of your life that are lacking around your health and wellness, and you need to schedule time for yourself to make strides in that area of your life. You will feel better, and then in turn, you will be a better person. You will show up better in your relationships, and you will have a greater reciprocity for all things that bring you joy in your life. So this is kind of where I'm at with my health coaching. I really want to help people get clear about that. I want to take a minute before I take questions to just talk about the online program that I'm offering to people. It's called Green Smoothies 101. For everyone that's on this call, I'm going to offer you a link to get it for a discount. I'm so proud of this program. It's an online coaching course that I created on Udemy in partnership with a teaching platform called Udemy. And it's all about how to get more plant-based foods into your diet. Plants are just absolutely the healthiest thing that you can do in the realm of diet and nutrition is to consume more plant-based diet. The more plants that you get into your diet, the easier you're going to stimulate weight loss, the easier you're going to get the energy and the vibrational energy that you need to motivate yourself to do other things like get to the gym and or exercise routine. Plants really just power us in a way that other foods drain us. So I know this to be true. I've seen it help every single client I've ever worked with. And I could go on for hours about how plants motivate and support your health in so many ways. Creating an alkaline environment, eliminating toxins, disallowing the growth of cancer cells. It's preventative health care. It's vibrational alertness. So specifically green plants, which is why I created the Green Smoothie course. It's really a step-by-step course for people who are maybe not vegetarian chefs or don't know enough about the power of plants. This is going to take you step-by-step to learn everything that you need to know to consume a more plant-based diet or just even get more plants into your everyday diet in under 5 minutes because we're making smoothies. They're simple, they're easy, they're fun, they're delicious, and they're loaded with vitamins and minerals. So the course is chock full of nutritional content. There's a whole bunch of health coaching worksheets that you can download. I think some of the people on this call are already in the course. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a surefire to motivate you and get you cranking on eating a little healthier, and that is surefire to motivate you with other health and wellness goals. Plus, you have me in 26 videos that I've created. They're all able to be viewed either on your handset or on your desktop. Anywhere you go, they're on demand. You can watch them whenever you want to. You get 23 downloadable worksheets. And the total cost of the course online is $34.99, but I'm going to give you guys a link right now where you can, it's a coupon, so I think it's just $19, which is like the cost of 4 fancy coffees or something like that. It's like less than an Uber ride home from the last bar that you were at. You can get this course. So, and then the great thing about that link is that you can share that right now with anybody. You can find your accountability partner and share this with them. So please feel free to share that link. And that is my timer for my content. And now I'm going to open this up right now to questions that anyone might have, both about the course, about anything that I shared in this call. I really want to hear from you and let me know how I can be of service. My hope is that people are really, what does refining your goal mean? I love that question. So, okay, refining your goal means specifically, thank you, Tom, who just asked that question. The question was, what does refining your goal mean? So your goal, let's say your goal is weight loss. That's really vague. And whenever we want to achieve something in life, we need to dial it down and get very specific. So you need to know where you're starting from. You need to know what your end goal is. And it's very important to be realistic. We actually cover this in great detail in the course. I have a whole sheet that you can fill out to kind of get clear about how to refine. It's specifically a weight loss goal. But your goal could be anything. And if it's vague, you're less likely to achieve it. So let's say your goal is, that your father has type 2 diabetes and it runs in your family and you want to prevent it. That's actually very vague. Preventing diabetes, what does that even mean? So you need to get very clear. You need to educate yourself. So that's one step of refining that goal. You need to understand what foods impact your blood sugar level, because diabetes is a blood sugar disease. So now you need to educate yourself and learn more about blood type, blood sugar, what spikes your blood sugar. So now you want to get content around nutrition. You're dialing in your goal. Your goal is now to become educated about sugary foods and how to prevent a spike in your own blood sugar. You're refining even further. You now have realized, you know what, I eat so much sugar. I'm always grabbing that donut, or I always go for the cookie. You're learning now that that's refined sugars instead of whole food sugars. So then you realize, okay, now I've got a new goal. I'm dialing it in. I'm refining my goal. I now know that I want to consume honey or whole molecule sugar as opposed to sucrose, which is a table sugar, which is a partial molecule, which is going to spike my blood sugar because I'm trying to prevent having later in life an illness that runs in my family. If your goal is weight loss, target weight is huge. Knowing your body mass index is huge. And again, a lot of this I do go into very into depth on the online course. This is something that I work with my clients a lot on. What burns and motivates you towards weight loss, knowing what your best exercise type is, knowing what kind of foods are high quality burn foods for you. Like, in other words, what is your best type of fuel that gets you maximum energy with minimum wear and tear on your digestive system? Again, I'll hint, plant-based foods. And there are tons of sources of protein that you can get from plants as well. So when we talk about weight loss, sometimes people get nervous about dieting. I am not a proponent of dieting. I don't diet. What I do is I figure out what types of foods fuel my body the most, so I have maximum energy to hit the gym or do a yoga class or whatever I know is going to metabolize that food, and that make me feel full without me. Like, sometimes you eat a type of food that for you, in the moment, it's very satisfying, but then half an hour later, you're still hungry. Everyone is different. You need to learn. So refining a weight loss goal would be knowing your max fuel type, knowing your body mass index, knowing your target weight, and knowing what type of exercise you're most likely to do and show up for time and again, refining exactly what that looks like. So you are not going to fall short on yourself and quit on yourself when you're aiming for that goal. So it's a little bit is that scheduling step, is breaking that goal down into tiny baby steps. That's the refining of it and clarifying it. And it could be as simple as again, I'm using weight loss only because it's such a standard, typical goal for people. A lot of people search for weight loss as their health goal. It could be as simple as just choosing a number that's realistic. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds. And meanwhile, they don't really need to lose 20 pounds. If they were to lose 5 pounds, they would feel like a different person. But the number 20 is this unattainable, difficult number. So refining would be getting honest about that. Actually, 5 pounds would be huge, because that would be a pant size, or just you would have that much more of a zip in your step and that much more energy to work with if you could shave off that a couple of pounds. Stuff like that is refining of the goal. I work a lot with my clients on that because people tend to put these broad stroke goals out there that are just actually not attainable. And then they don't succeed at reaching them. And there's nothing to celebrate. And you need to celebrate when you reach your goal. That's the best part, celebration. I'm all about that. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue doing these webinars. I'm looking forward to getting feedback from people. I don't want to keep people on the line too much longer. We started right on time. So if there's not any more questions, I just want to encourage you to follow through on doing these 3 steps. I mean, I'm open to taking more questions right now if you have them. I would love to have each and every person that's on this call in my online smoothie course. It's not just about smoothies. I call it that because it's a very specific thing that we teach, but there's a ton of wonderful health coaching tips in there, tons of worksheets that you can download and use them again and again. Once you buy it, it's yours to keep. And like I said, I'm giving it to you guys for a really cheap price, so you should get it if you can, and share it with anyone and find that accountability partner. Okay, so I'm open to hearing any more thoughts, any questions. If anyone has anything they want to say right now, you can type it in the chat. And I will follow up with people individually if you'd like. And I'm going to keep on hosting free webinars, so please join me for future webinars where we can get motivated about taking steps towards our health goals. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I love being in this format. Like I said, it's new to me, so I'm always looking forward to feedback on anything. Lighting, did I talk too fast? Whatever you want to share. So that's all I'm going to share for now. And I love you all. I'm so grateful for your time here tonight. You're all shining stars, and you deserve to feel and look your best. And I am on your team for achieving that in this lifetime. And I'm going to just go out on my power jam here. I got my Rihanna. I cannot get enough of this song. Hang on. Did I end it? No, go back. I just love the song. This is what you came for, right? This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And get up and dance if you're not already up. Woo! You did it. You made it through a webinar. I wish I had like my speaker instead of this, but ready, here comes. All about you. Take care of number 1. I love you.